It's such a great feeling of accomplishment when you know that you're working towards two different goals at the same time. On the one hand, you're clearing space, both physically and mentally. And on the other hand, you're also possibly helping someone out who may have use for the things that you are removing. And that's what I experienced today. And I want to talk about that with you all. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Proof and Prosper, where I remind you each day that you don't need permission to change your life. You just need proof that it's possible. And that's what my goal is to share my process with you so that you can see that you too can go after the things that you want, the lifestyle that you want. And so, with that being said, I want to talk about today, what I was able to do today, which is the first, I would say, full day that I completely dedicated to either selling some of my old stuff or donating some of my old stuff. And I mentioned in a previous video that right now my two main avenues that I'm using to accomplish this is through Facebook Marketplace, and I've set up an account on Whatnot, but I just have not started on that platform yet because honestly, I've been having pretty good success on Facebook Marketplace so far. And if you've been watching any of my other videos, dealing with a little bit of burnout, so I'm trying to do things in a way that's not too overwhelming for me, but I can still, go ahead and try to get it done as quickly as I can. I'm giving myself 30 days to get rid of as much stuff as I can. I have I have a good amount of electronics, household items, and some clothing that I am trying to downsize and completely remove, which that's my goal. I'm giving myself 30 days just because I don't want it to, number one, I want my space to be clear as soon as possible. But given the amount of stuff that I have and the amount of time and energy that I think I can dedicate to it, I felt like 30 days was a good amount of time to be able to do this. So that's what my goal is. And today was the first day that I dedicated the majority of the day. I'm not going to say the entire day. I mean, I guess depends on how you look at it. I got up really late today, and if you've been watching any of my other videos, or you know that I've just moved from the DMV area back home with my mom, and I wasn't able to get rid of as much stuff as I would have liked before I moved, but I refused to get a storage unit. And so to me, this is a good way to motivate me to go ahead and get rid of this stuff that I do have. Even though I think in the grand scheme of things, it's not a ton of stuff. It really just takes up a lot of space. Like, boxes and stuff. The way you have to package things and stuff tends to take up a lot of space. And so it's a motivator for me to go ahead and take care of, getting rid of it. But today I would say I dedicated the majority of the day to actually that goal. And so I spent most of the day posting things on Facebook Marketplace, and then I also physically took some items to a local donation center where I had three medium-sized boxes and a few bags of clothing that I was able to donate. And that went smoothly. And then I had been posting items throughout the day on Facebook, and I've been getting a pretty good response since I started that, I started trickling in, sprinkling in an item here and there since last week, but again, not really dedicating 100% to it. But for the last 3 days, I've been putting more items on. Now, I don't know about you guys. I don't know if any of you have actually ever tried to sell anything on Facebook Marketplace, but it has come a long way. I've been using it for years to kind of get rid of some items here and there just to make a couple of extra bucks if I can, for things that I no longer need or want. And it used to just be like it would take forever to, well, at least in my experience, I'm only speaking from my experience, guys. It used to take forever for me to get rid of things. And it was always, you had to kind of, it was always a bunch of haggling. Like, you could, you know, retail value, I'm just giving an example, guys. Okay, the retail, you could put something, you know, showing that the retail value for whatever this thing is that you're selling is like $100, and then you're like, okay, but it's not new, so you might post it for like $30, right? And then somebody's like, can I get it for 10? Like, so you expect that, you know what I mean? And I mean, it's not about the money. It's just that's the kind of stuff that you kind of have to deal with, and you got to have the patience for. But I haven't had much of that so far, which is a very refreshing surprise. At least I haven't had it yet. I've been, you know, as each day has passed since I've been home, I've been posting more, and you know, they've definitely improved the platform tremendously, because now you get responses pretty quickly, and you still want to do your due diligence to try to, you know, ensure that, you know, you're not, it's not a scam, or it's not like a bot, you know, and that you're talking to real people. You definitely want to do that. But so far it's been good, and you know, they're incorporating AI into everything, and that's no, you know, Facebook Marketplace is no different. So it's kind of, it's helping to streamline the process. And for me, what I find is, I tend to put a lot of energy and effort into the listings without, and I've learned this lesson a long time ago, but I still can't seem to not put that much energy and effort into it. But like, a lot of times you'll put, you know, all of this information in the description, most likely answering all of the general questions that you're going to get about whatever the item is, and then the person will still literally ask you a question that is, the answer is already to, like, oh, what size is it, and you already have in the description that it's a size large or whatever, right? So, you know, in experiencing that, you would think that it would, you know, prompt me to not, you know, be as detailed, because people tend to not read this information anyway. But, you know, call it the perfectionist in me, and I am a recovering perfectionist. I am working diligently every day to get past that. But call it, you know, call it the perfectionist in me, or call it the, you know, high performer in me that doesn't want to half-ass anything. You know, all of these things that I am, you know, trying to recover from, actively recover from, which is one of the reasons why I resignated, I resigned from my job, and I'm taking a step back to reset and kind of let my brain calm down a little bit. Whatever you want to attribute it to, I still tend to make a good ad, you know, because I want to try to attract the right people, to, you know, people that are actually going to buy, you know, whatever the thing is, that I put online. And so Facebook has made it you know, a little bit easier to do that. It kind of flows a lot smoother now, and things of that nature. So I've been having pretty good responses on that so far, so I feel really good about it. That's right now. That's my focus, until I have a bit more mental capacity to try to work in, selling on the live shopping app. It's called Whatnot. I heard some really good things about it, and so I'm going to incorporate selling things on there, because I have like some more quality items like motorcycle gear, leather jackets, things of that nature that I don't know if I'm going to post it on Facebook Marketplace too, but things that I believe I might have to put in a little bit more effort to try to sell. But I'm going to see either way. Right now, Facebook Marketplace has been doing pretty good for me, so I'm kind of sticking with that. And if you've ever posted anything on there, it can be pretty time consuming depending on how detailed you get. Like, I like to take a lot of pictures of things just so people can see whether, what it looks like and everything like that, without having to ask too many questions. Um, so it can be pretty tedious. So that does take up a good amount of your time. And one thing that I'm realizing is like this could really be like I kind of get like people that go thrifting and stuff like that and how they can really do that as kind of like a full-time thing. Um, or like people that go around in like garage sales or whatever, because just me doing the little bit that I've done, from my home, it's like it takes up some time. It takes up a good amount of time. And I'm like, is this about to turn into my full-time job between donating and trying to sell things? I can see it happening. I can definitely see it happening. And I'm okay with it, because what's so great about the process, at least how I've laid it out for myself, when you're able to do things and you're not coming from a place of like desperation, it's great because you can do things with ease. You can take your time. You can, you know what I mean? You're not pressed either way. Hey, if I can make a couple of bucks, I make a couple of bucks. If I can donate some things, I'll donate some things. But um ultimately, you're just working towards, that goal, which is to just try to get rid of the stuff that you no longer need, want, or have the space to carry, that you don't have the space for and you don't want to carry it forward with you, right? So for me, breaking it up into those categories, just it allowed it allows me to not have to use up so much my mental capacity, right? With getting rid of the stuff that I no longer need. Because if I was hell bent on having to sell everything because everything is so valuable, that is just a lot of unnecessary undue stress. It would probably just take me a lot longer to get rid of things. And I'm glad that I'm not working from that place. It also allows me to be a lot more, just a lot more chill about the process, because ultimately the goal, I'm not, for me, I'm not, the goal isn't to make a profit. It's just like, hey, this is something that's in pretty good shape. Hey, if I can get a couple of dollars, I don't think anything's wrong with that. If I can get a couple of dollars for it, sweet. If not, I'll just go ahead and donate it. Because ultimately for me, whatever monies that I do make, I'm just going to put it towards my like sabbatical fund, or put it towards expenses that I might incur from moving abroad. So that's really just the goal. That's the goal for me right now. And I just sometimes you just have to put things into perspective. Like, you know, is when I'm looking at a lot of the stuff that I'm selling, and I have to kind of weigh, and I'm asking myself, is this worth the $20 that I'm gonna put it up and have to kind of go back and forth with people about? Or maybe I'll get lucky and somebody might pick it up. Or is it just easier for me? Is that $20 a fair trade-off for me just taking it to the local donation center, just so that I can, clear that space, for my, clear that space physically and mentally. So that's what I kind of find myself kind of asking myself. And so I think I've been doing a pretty good job between splitting things up. Okay, what can I donate? What this is, what makes more sense to donate, what makes more sense to maybe try to sell to get a little bit, make a little, a couple of bucks off of, and what is something that I can just give away, you know, because I came across like a couple of Facebook groups where you just can post things for free, and if there's somebody out there that needs it, hey, if I have something that somebody else needs, then more than welcome, to it, because I don't have any use for it anymore. So that also, I feel that is also a good feeling, especially during these times in this economy and stuff. And everybody's, it benefits everybody to save money where you can. So, um, so yeah, I just wanted to share the process with you today. I'm still, locked and loaded into selling all of my things, all of my worldly possessions, um, in order to prepare for the next, chapter in my life. And that's what I'm trying to do, is just share what my process is, and working towards the goals that I'm trying to achieve, with, regaining control of my time, um, my location, and ultimately my financial freedom. And so these are the things that I'm doing right now. So first step was moving back home. Um, Second step is decluttering, getting rid of all the excess. And the third step will be, deciding what work looks like, for me. What will it look like for me, in the future? And most likely, the fourth step is another move, possibly abroad. I think we're leaning towards moving abroad, um, and starting that process. But just trying to provide some insight, for those of you who, you know, may be looking for some ideas, or just might be interested in what it looks like, for me. Um, if you stuck around this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. And if my journey is something that you're, interested in following, please, feel free to hit the subscribe button. If you like more content like this, please, hit that thumbs up, hit the like, so that I can continue to bring you, more content of this nature. But right now, I just want to just give some insight of like the daily goings on of what it's looking like for me to, begin working towards this goal. Hopefully, you guys can hear me, because I'm realizing I should have just pinned this. I should have just pinned this, but I kind of felt like holding on to it today. I don't know why. But I'm realizing I have it like all the way out here, and it's probably way better when it's here. But we'll find out, once I post this video. But in any event, yeah, that's all I really have for you all today. I just wanted to again get on here just to share what today was. It was focused on donation and, posting things, up for sale, and I really foresee this becoming like a full-time job for me over the next 30 days, which I'm fine with, because I'm actually having a pretty good time. It's actually kind of fun with me going through the boxes that I've already packed, and separating, things, and figuring out which pile to put it in, right? So, again, thank you so much for watching my video. And that is all I have for you today. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.